Okay, second video for day 10. This one's a graph of the cosecant. Recall the last video we showed you the graph of the secant. This was the graph of the secant. You might already be guessing that this is going to be similar. Recall the cosecant is 1 over the sine, the reciprocal of the sine. So to graph that, we're going to graph 1 over sine x. And as you probably suspected, it's going to be very similar, but not exactly the same as the secant. So let's look and see what happens. We can anticipate some of the behavior being the same, so this time we'll just look at the x values. 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi. Let's look at those first. And go back to the unit circle, and the cosecant is 1 over the sine, so when x is 0, that's 1 over 0. So this is going to be undefined. At pi over 2, the sine is 1, so 1 over 1 is going to be 1. At pi, the sine is 0 again, so 1 over 0 is going to be undefined. At 3 pi over 2, the sine is negative 1, so 1 over negative 1 is going to be negative 1. And at 2 pi, sine is 0 again, so 1 over 0 is going to be undefined again. Let's mark this. It's pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi, and again 0 is undefined, so we're going to have an asymptote when x equals 0. Another asymptote pi and 2 pi. At pi over 2, secant was equal to 1. And at 3 pi over 2, the secant was equal to negative 1. Now recall, just like it was when we did the secant before, this graph has a minimum and goes up from there, and a maximum goes down from there. Never intersects the x-axis, never gets really close to the x-axis. As a matter of fact, this is the minimum, and the graph is going to go up and approach the asymptote there, up and approach the asymptote here. Over here, it can't go up without hitting the x-axis. We know it's not going to do that, so it's going to go down. And recall too that this graph comes from the sine, and the sine, the lowest possible value is negative 1, the highest possible value is 1. All the sine values are trapped in between there. And so when you take 1 over a number smaller than 1, or 1 between 0 and negative 1, that's going to make that 1 between 0 and 1, it's going to make it a very larger number. And between 0 and negative 1, it's going to make it a negative number, below 1, negative 1. So this is the graph we see. If we extended this to 3 pi, we would see another cycle of this up here, and to 4 pi, another cycle down here. And so this, the period, is 2 pi. It takes 2 pi on the x-axis to make one complete cycle of the curve. The amplitude again, no amplitude because it doesn't have a highest point above the midline. The domain this time is all real numbers except 0 pi, 1 pi, 2 pi. If we went back this way, it would be negative 1 pi, negative 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi. So we have to take out from the real numbers all real numbers except for multiples of pi. And the range is going to be just like it was for the secant, from negative infinity to negative 1. And nothing in between negative 1 and 1. When we get to 1, it starts again, goes to infinity. And that's the graph of the cosecant.